somebody says David is on the phone like DS. I don't know if David is in here. Oh, he is. Oh, David West. Oh, this is, dude. David West is actually in the chat right now. David West is in the chat right now, and I have no idea what his number is. I have no idea what his number is. Oh, he super chatted me. I'm an idiot. David West with the $2 super chat says, I'm on the phone if you want to talk. Area code 541. Well, you know what? We are going to find out. We're going to find out what the deal really is. David, I think I've got you on the line now. Is this you?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right, David. Listen, you've heard me berate you here for like the last 45 minutes. I'll give you the first crack. What do you have?
Well, first I haven't heard all of it. It was kind of funny. I was out doing a job, and my wife tried to call me, and she has, like, no self-control over calling me when I'm working, and I'm like, stop calling me. And I hung up on her, and then as I was leaving the job, I called her back to see what was up, and she watches your show. She watches, a lot of stuff. I actually did an episode on my YouTube channel a couple weeks ago addressing some content from Mr. Atheist, because she hate watches him, too. And so I made a whole video about that. And we were thinking about I was thinking about for my channel, making a video about some of your content. So she was freaking out. She was like, oh my gosh, David, we are on Donovan's show right now. And then I started streaming it. And,
I did this.
It was half an hour ago, maybe.
Yeah, I did this. I actually did that on purpose. I sent her I sent her a friend request, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that because I don't really want to be her friend on Facebook. So I just put a link down there. I said, hey, look, I think you should watch this. I didn't think she would see it. She did it, and so now. Well,
it's funny. She's been watching your show for, I don't know, a month or two now, somewhat regularly. So
okay,
she saw it.
Okay, so here's my assertion about you, David. I don't know if you realize this, but you are a male feminist, my friend. Just because you don't call yourself a male feminist doesn't mean you are one. Now, in my opinion, you might not know.
I think you're very off base. I think if you heard some more of my beliefs, you'd realize that.
Listen, I promise I'll give you the floor. But I'm going to tell you why I think you're a male. I'm going to tell you why I think you're a male feminist. Because you, in that video that I'm watching now, you take the blame from women and put it almost solely on men. Take the sperm jacking or spurglery for instance. These women, and oh, by the way, David, this is a normal thing, right? You specifically said, hey, if these men were marrying these women wouldn't have to do this. You want to know something, David? You're 100% right, but here's where you are wrong. 10, 15 years ago, and this is what I talked about earlier in the video, guys wanted to marry women. Guys in their 20s and early 30s wanted to get married. The problem is women did not. So when they get to be in their late 20s, early 30s, they think, oh shit, the men that used to fuck me don't want me anymore. How can I have a kid with a quote-unquote alpha male? I know. I'll have unprotected sex with a guy I want to have a baby with, and unbeknownst to him, I'll stop taking birth control. So that's my spiel there. So I'll let you have the floor, and you can tell me why you think you're not a male feminist.
So I will give it to you that I do think there's a little bit of a problem in Christianity, especially the way that Christianity has been very, like, feminized and secularized and watered down and turned more liberal. There is a problem where they always want to act like women are angels who never do anything wrong. And I don't really think I'm doing that in this video. If anything, my tendency to blame men before I blame women is more of like a condescension to women. I feel like there's kind of a chicken and an egg scenario here where you keep saying, oh, well, these women, they don't want to get married. They don't want to do this. Yeah, because a bunch of pussy men for the last 100, 200 years have been giving into that and giving them more power. If men didn't give feminists power and didn't let them push the world this way, it wouldn't happen. So
that I agree with.
I mean, I kind of, what's that?
I said that I agree with. I agree with you 100%. Women can't do anything without men, including feminism. So I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So about the sperm, about the sperm jacking.
90 seconds.
And don't worry, David, that's not 90 seconds until this ends. If you guys want to get in on the show, you have 90 seconds to do it. If you're in the queue, you'll get on the show. 914-205-5356. Again, that's 914-205-5356. Here's one thing I will give you credit for, David. You have a beautiful wife. Like, your wife is hot. Like, real talk. Listen, she's a good-looking woman. You're one of the fortunate few whose wife actually gives a shit about what she looks like after she gets pregnant. You guys want to have 5 or 6 kids? Honestly,
60
man,
seconds.
like, you and her are living the American dream. But I think where you specifically are severely misguided, you guys are not the norm. Like, you guys are the outliers. Your wife said,
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to check your wife, because your wife said, and I quote, well, women who get on the penis carousel, those are like the outliers. There is no way she can actually believe that's true. What about you?
I don't really think she's saying that women don't get on it, that's the outlier.
That's
I think
exactly
she's
what she
saying
said.
that isn't.
No, that's
women,
exactly what
like,
she said.
That's no little girl's dream is to get on that.
No.
People are
Check
getting
this
on
out,
that
David.
because we live in a messed up society.
There you go. You're right. It's not, no little girl grows up. Listen, you've seen it. I have sisters. I don't know if you have sisters, but when I was younger, 5, 6 years old, my sisters used to have little play weddings.
10 seconds.
Every little girl wants to get married, but something happens when they hit puberty and they see the feminist world. Now, all of a sudden, everything around them is telling them getting married is institutional slavery. It's legalized slavery. You should never have to kowtow to a man and this and that and the other. By the time they're 18, 19 years old, they are literally shamed out of doing what their feminine instincts are telling them to do. David, that is the norm. That is not the outlier. You want to know how I know this is the norm? Because any woman on Facebook who says, hey, I'm young, I'm pretty, and I'm a mother, she is eviscerated. She gets nothing but hate. Oh, you're a slave to your husband, and how can you live and be oppressed and this, and that, and the other? So I'm telling you, man to man, your woman Cassie was wrong when she said that women who jump on the cock carousel are the outlier. No. That is the norm.
Did I lose you? Hello?
Nope, I'm still here. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, but I mean, none of that would have happened if it weren't for men building a public school system and men building a bunch of bullshit socialist social safety nets. Like, all of those things that men did enabled us to get to this point.
That I agree with. As far as the feminist, as far as, and I guess you're talking about like welfare and the government and all this other kind of stuff. If women if women have children out of wedlock, they are literally taken care of. Free room, free housing, free food, free healthcare, all that other kind of stuff. But here's the thing, David, and I'll agree with you. Feminism is every bit men's fault as it is women's fault. But let's not pretend that women were just innocent little bystanders. Guess what, David? Feminism was the woman's idea. Now, lack of male leadership caused men to co-sign on it, but men didn't say, women, you need to be feminists. You guys need to stop vacuuming floors, stop having kids, sport fuck your way through your teens and 20s, and get married in your 30s. No, that was the idea of a woman. Men co-signed on this. So women are every bit as responsible for the state of the sexual marketplace as men. Do you agree or disagree?
No, I do agree. I mean, that's why I was saying earlier, I think there is a little bit of a problem with like feminized, liberal, modern Christianity, where they don't ever want to blame women for anything. And it's like, oh, if your teenage couple has sex, oh, it was clearly the guy's fault. We're going to run the guy off with a shotgun. Like, no, the girl went along with it like 99% of the time. And it probably didn't even require all that much pressure, because as a Christian, I believe that men and women are both, we both have sin natures. And if you go back to the very beginning, I mean, this problem was there in the very beginning. Eve sinned and Adam was not enough of a man to tell her to knock it off. He went along with it.
Okay.
So, I mean, men have been enabling women for a long time, and women have always had a sin nature, just like men do. So, and I guess I agree with what you're saying there.
Yeah, listen, and I'll put it to you this way, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it this way. A woman's, how can I put this? A woman's default programming is self-destruction, David. If women are given complete control over, and this, listen, I'm not saying that women are terrible. I'm not saying they're bad. Women just are. When women lack leadership, they are destructive. Women are like children, my friend. If you give women complete control over anything, they destroy it. You give them complete control over the sexual marketplace, they destroy it. If they're raised by single mothers, they destroy it. They're in complete control of the sexual marketplace and themselves, they completely destroy it. So, again, putting anything in the hands of a woman is never a good idea without strong male leadership. So now that you and I have had this discourse, and listen, I give you all the credit in the world. I got to tell you, man, I didn't think you had the balls to call in. I really didn't. I think that you were going to punk out. I thought you were going to bitch out.
That made me laugh. I'm known as like the most argumentative, debate-happy person in my entire friend group. So
well, it doesn't. It didn't seem that way with your wife. It looks like you acquiesce to her more often than not. Am I wrong?
Honestly, that's because it's her show, and I can very easily dominate a conversation. So when I'm on like someone else's show, I'll try to be respectful of that and tone it back. I mean, I have my own YouTube show where I just, ramble for hours. So I didn't want to just do that on hers.
Well, listen, I'm not married, and I'm not a father, and I'm not really going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do in your marriage. But David, you're a man, she's a woman. You're the leader, she's the follower. If you want to cut her off in the middle of her show, I can assure you it might piss her off, but she's going to be okay because get this, David, I think your wife loves you. Your wife loves you, dude. She loves you. She is going to acquiesce to you. Okay, so right, and I have no doubt. So you might ruffle her feathers a little bit by cutting her up. Be like, hold on, sweetie, I wasn't done yet. But guess what? At the end of the day, she's still going to give you that blowjob. I'll give you the last word.
Well, no, it's not even that. The reason is just that it's her channel. People are there to watch her, and so I want to make sure she has time to get her 2 cents in because I could literally just turn the whole thing into my show, and I don't want it to be my show because she is not nearly as skilled a cinematographer and video editor as I am. So I want some distance there from her production value.
Okay, very good. He is David West. You guys can subscribe to him on YouTube. I think your YouTube channel is called Bucking the System, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if you search Buck the System or David Kirk West, you'll find me pretty easy.
Okay, very good. Listen, David, you and I may have fundamental disagreements, but listen, you have my respect, my friend. I appreciate you calling in and facing the fire, and good luck to you, man.
I'd be happy to come on again.
Excellent. David West,